Welcome to the April meeting for the Hawaii State Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Transgender, Queer Plus Commission. It is April 3rd, 2026, and we are in person and via Zoom for commission members, ex officios, and those attending from the community. All right, so our commission purpose, and this is from chapter 369 of Hawaii Revised Statutes. The legislature finds that there is a need to establish a body to improve the state's interface with members of the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer plus community, identify the short and long-term needs of its members, and ensure that there is an effective means of researching, planning, and advocating for the equity of its population in all aspects of the state government. Accordingly, of this chapter is to establish a commission to provide for a statewide program on a permanent and continuing basis on the status of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer plus individuals of Hawaii. So I'd like to call everything to order at, and of course, at 2:07 p.m. And what we're going to do first is we're going to be doing an introduction and roll call of our commission members and our ex officios. I'm Sandy Harjo Livingston, the chair, and I am present. Michael?
Present.
Our secretary spot is vacant. Hopefully, once we get our couple of members in, we'll be able to fill that. Finance Director Shanda Brack. Present. Thank you. Philip Steinbacher from Hawaii County.
Present, and I'm alone in the room.
Thank you, Philip. Next, we have Kathleen Odell from the City and County of Honolulu.
Present, and I'm alone in the room.
Thank you. Joe Tolba from Maui County.
Aloha, Joe Tolby here. I'm present, alone in the room.
Thank you, Joe. Next, we have Richard Velasquez from the City and County of Honolulu. All right. And our Hawaii County hopefully will be joining us in the next foreseeable future. All right, our ex officios, Superintendent of Education Designee Beth Schimmelfannig, Director of the Department of Education, Civil Rights Compliance Office.
Aloha, I'm present and I'm alone in the room.
Thank you. Next, we have President of the University of Hawaii System Designee, Dr. Cameron Miyamoto, Director at LGBTQ Plus Center, UH Manoa.
Present and alone in the room.
Thank you. Next, we have Director of Labor and Industrial Relations Designee, David Rodriguez, State's Equal Opportunity Officer. Don't see them. Director of Human Resources Development Designee, Signe Nakamura, Teresa, EEO Administrator.
Hi, I'm here and no one's in the room with me.
Thank you. Next, we have Director of Human Services Designee, Jonathan Kimura, Executive Specialist. Next, we have Director of Health Designee Thaddeus Pham, MPH, Viral Hepatitis Prevention Coordinator, Harm Reduction Services Branch. Not present. Not present. All right. And let's see. All right. I want to introduce everyone to Hanny Bulligay. Okay, yes. Hanny Bulligay, she is our new administrative assistant. Yay! We finally have our superstar that's going to be helping us out with everything. So she is here. Oh, so happy. And do we have any guests to introduce today? Nope, no guests to introduce today. Okay. All right. Comment on receipt of written testimony. All right. We have distributed the written testimony in our board packet. Hopefully everyone has reviewed it so that we can discuss it later.
I just want everybody to recognize that there was an late edition of the updated to Gender Journey Days that was added over the weekend.
Thank you. And thank you, Shannon, for making that. All right. Next, we have members, shares, concerns, and reports. And let's see. All right. Yeah. So we're going to be doing commissioners and the ex officios. I don't know. My concerns are continuing from the previous meetings. Not really any introduction, any difference there. But as I've already introduced Hanny, she's going to be helping us. We also have Jerome Oyama, the new Public Information Officer for the Department of Human Services. Is he here?
No.
No, okay. And we also have Christopher Luthi appointed to fill the Hawaii County Commissioner position.
And Christopher's with us.
Oh, Christopher, you're here. All right, so next commission meeting will be your first one, correct? Like officially?
Oh, wait, I got a little, hold on a second. There we go. There you go, Christopher.
Welcome, welcome, Christopher. This is our new representative on Hawaii Island.
Welcome.
Hello, thank you.
Thank you for joining us. And I believe next month will be your first official meeting, correct?
I'm hoping so. I still have not seen any update on my governor message.
Okay, we still haven't gotten that set down. Okay, so we're waiting on that. Okay, good. All right, next person is Michael.
Okay, in the board packet, you have, again, I just want to remind everybody, we need to start making sure everybody's registered to vote because the AVR bill is still moving, but we can talk about that later. That is even if the AVR bill goes into effect, we still need to make sure that's only when people go to get a new driver's license, update, anything like that. So we do need to go out there and make sure everybody is registered to vote. Just a reminder to bring your, submit your events to the Hawaii Legacy Foundation's online calendar, so we do not double book each other.
Wonderful, thank you. Next, we have Philip Steinbacher.
I have nothing to add at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Shanda Brack.
Board aye, thank you.
Thank you, Shanda. Next, we have Dr. Kathleen Odell.
Hi, yes. So I just wanted to say that I got to go to the Legacies Foundation's gala and it was amazing. Great job, Legacy Foundation. And a big congratulations to Michael, who won the Visionary Award. So way to represent the commission.
Right, thank you so much. I forgot that that was this month. Okay, thank you. All right, next we have Joe Tolman.
Unmute yourself, Joe.
We can't hear you.
Sorry, here we go. I was also gonna congratulate Michael on that, when I saw that, the picture with you, I think your mom and, Sandra? I forgot who the third person was in the photo. Oh, what a great photo. Last weekend here on Maui, we had our Aloha Maui Pride car wash, which we did really well because for one day the sun popped out. So like from beginning, we started the car wash from 8 to 1. From beginning to end, we didn't have a end of the line. People just kept coming to get their cars, vans, whatever washed, and we made a lot of money for Maui for that. And as the cars were coming through, I kept making sure, did you vote? Make sure you register to vote now. Everybody was coming through, so I did my push on getting people to vote throughout that car wash. So that was about it for this since the last time.
Thank you, Joe. And Rick's not here, so we're gonna go to Superintendent of Education designee Beth Shumpinick.
Sorry, I'm here. I just looking for the click. I don't have any report.
Thank you. All right, next we have President of the University of Hawaii System designee, Dr. Cameron Miyamoto.
No issues or concerns from the University of Hawaii system.
Thank you. Next we have Director of Labor and Industrial Relations designee, David Rodriguez. He's not here. Right?
No.
He's not here. Next we have Director of Human Resources Development designee, Signe Nakamura Doresa.
Nothing to share at this time. Thanks.
Thank you. Next we have Director of Human Services designee, Jonathan Kimura. No, oh, he's not here either. And neither is Thaddeus Van. Okay. All right, do we have any public testimony on the member shares, concerns, and reports that just happened? Excellent, all right. Moving on to Finance Director's report.
I have prepared a budget update that is in the board packet that breaks down what we have spent and what we should have left. So I believe, if my numbers are correct, we have spent $7,870 of our annual budget of $20,000. 2,000 of that annual budget is not available to us because of state things. We have planned costs that are committed for bus ads of 1,500. And Kona Pride, Kauai Pride, Honolulu Pride, Maui Pride and Hilo Pride, all were committed 500 each, I believe, for this calendar year. 3 of those are outstanding, so 1,500 of what we have committed is outstanding. We had committed to spending 6,000 on the gender affirming care training, which is currently on hold. So without Rick here, I don't know if the plan is gonna be to try to see if we can make that happen next year or not. But we have approximately $10,130 remaining in budget, of which 9,000 is allocated, if you count the gender affirming care training. So if we take that out, we only have 3,000 allocated.
And then there's also minus 700, well, there's another additional $797 because my hotel is covered in my per diem. That per diem count includes the hotel. So the hotel thing just goes out of there, so that it was less than 3,000 for me to go to create and change. So we have money to spend when that as we head further into the agenda. I think we've set a good standard to be able to allocate those funds for other prides and other things with taking the since the gender affirming care day was told we were not doing that. That just takes away that. So it was canceled. We can't spend that money in this thing. It was not included in the memo that went and Sandy sent to the director for their approval. So we will, and we cover that when we get into the other prides and we're gonna spend the rest of that money expeditiously.
So you're saying that 800, essentially the 800, the 797 that I have allocated here as hotel,
Is actually covered.
is it really ours?
No, it's actually already covered in the per diem,
Oh,
because that's how that works.
so that's essentially, I had it here as a duplicate.
So another $800 into.
Great.
So.
Fantastic. All right, is that it? Okay, perfect. Next, we have official communications from state officials.
There are no.
Yeah,
Wait, I have a question about the budget.
yes.
I'm confused. What period of time does this cover?
This covers the 2026, I guess 2025, 2026.
It goes from July 1,
Yeah.
2025 to June 31st, June 30, whatever.
Yeah,
it may
June
be.
30th.
Okay.
June 30th.
So
Well,
it's
so then I have a
26.
question about item number 2, Philip Rainbow Resilience Trip. That was January of 25.
You did not get reimbursed until after they made a special dispensation
Okay.
on that
Okay.
one.
Thank you. I'm like, wait a minute, that was like a year and a half ago. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, do we have any public testimony on the finance director's report or the lack of official communication from state officials? Nope. All right, perfect. Okay, next we have a presentation. It's going to be 10 minutes. Supreme Court ruling Childs versus Salazar. And what does this mean to Hawaii's ban on the so-called conversion therapy by Commissioner Michael William Jr., the lead advocate for Act 13, SLH 2018, and Act 157, SLH 2019, 4531 of the Hawaii Revised Statute.
Oh, good afternoon, everybody. Michael Williams Jr., he, him pronouns. Anyway, sorry. Testimony mode. The reason I asked to have us put this on the agenda is that one of the things that everybody needs to understand is in the Supreme Court, they were never actually deciding whether the so-called conversion therapy is good, medically sound, because it's not. It's they were deciding how they could, or they should be able to, restrict speech on it. And so the ruling that came down did not get rid of Hawaii's ban. In review of our ban, I think our ban is broad enough that it would hold to constitutional muster under this narrow ruling that we had out of the Supreme Court. Now, I do want to make it perfectly clear that the ruling was horrible, that they should have cited protecting Keiki, protecting anybody from this non-medicine therapy, non-therapy therapy. That if it sends the message to anybody that conversion therapy works, it doesn't. It causes more harm. It doesn't do any good. It all does is cause this harm. So the one thing I wanted to make sure everybody was aware of is that this was an 8-year struggle to get it, our first act in 2018. And then we went back and we did some cleanup language in 2019. And the reason I brought that to everybody's attention is that it's a cleanup language that is going to protect us from this Supreme Court ruling. Because it bans anybody from trying to convert. As we all know, you cannot change someone's sexual orientation or gender identity. No matter how many times you waterboard them, electrotherapy, whatever it is, chemical castration, that does not change their sexual orientation or gender identity. It just causes them emotional harm and physical harm. And so the one thing I wanted everybody to take away from this is that we are fine right now here in Hawaii. That doesn't mean that we're not going to go back in 2027 and look at ways to shore up our law, as well as maybe doing other things to protect us should the Supreme Court come back with a more restrictive ban, actually get rid of the bans. But given the fact they didn't do it here, I don't think they're going to do it as long as it is neutral. The ban is neutral, and our ban is neutral when it comes to, we didn't say, oh, you can't stop trying to turn someone from gay to straight. It just says you can't turn anybody, especially queer kids. And our ban is to up to 18 years old. So what we're looking at here is how do we protect ourselves from future attacks? We're going to make sure that those that have been through the so-called conversion therapy, that they have increased access to going after their harmers, those that have offered this fraudulent practice. So if you have any ideas along those routes, please send them to me for privacy, not privacy, but for the more likely, I will not be bringing anything to this commission for you to add to our priorities. It won't be until after the bills are introduced because of the Sunshine Law. We don't want our opposition to know what we're doing. And so quite frankly, you guys will find out when we're ready to go public with that. So it's just like some of the things we did this past session. And so it's just, that's how things are since we are Sunshine. And hi, everybody, we're glad to have you here. We're happy to have you, but there's sometimes we do have to keep the cards close to our vest, especially in the current world that we live in, with everything we're seeing. So with that being said, I did want to open it up to anybody, if anybody questions about the ruling and how we are moving forward. And if anybody has about the ruling or what we can do to help, if you hear about it, hear anybody that's being offered conversion therapy. Okay, well, that was good. Okay. If you do hear of anybody, please reach out to me. Let me know. We can, if they're willing to go forward, they can actually file a complaint with RICO. That's under DCCA, because conversion therapy does not meet the standard of care, medical care. And there are other things we're looking at on how to curtail that besides just the ban, because there's always their pocketbook. So anyways, I'm gonna leave it.
All right, thank you very much for that affirmation and reassurance.
I wanted to follow up on that. Is that something that like Hawaii Civil Rights Commission might be able to help somebody with
It's RICO.
legal aid? Like, how would somebody get started with filing a legal aid?
Oh, they just go to RICO. It's all online. It's all,
You
it's
just do it as a person.
as an individual. Yeah, if somebody's been offered it as a patient or has been forced through it again, yeah. So but they have to be licensed in the state of Hawaii if they've gone through it. They need to seek out an attorney to go after damages. Because there's nothing in our statute that does not stop them from seeking damages. Current, we're just looking at maybe extending how long they have. So, Aaron?
Chair, this is Erin. I'm just adding a disclaimer in there for Michael that he's not an attorney and he's not giving any legal advice on behalf of the state, which just lots of helpful information, right, Michael?
Oh, of course. I'm not an attorney. I don't even play one on TV.
This is affirmation and assurance.
Yeah, and on that note, that if you do things, seek legal advice. If you tell them somebody's been subject to this disgusting practice, have them seek legal advice from a legal professional.
Yeah, the more voices that are heard, the better. All right, so we're going to be moving on to ongoing business and updates. Our election of secretary is still on hold for more commission members who have availability to do that. Right now, we don't have anyone who can. Do we have any public testimony on that? No? All right, perfect. Next is update on commission's website.
There are some more updates and you're gonna be seeing some more. They just, if you have anything, reminder, just email them to me and we'll get them to Sean.
All right. Do we have any public testimony on the update for our website? No testimony.
Oh, testimony. Oh, testimony.
Yeah. All right, no public testimony. Good. Next is update on letter to Maui Preparatory Academy donors regarding Maui Preps anti-LGBTQI plus policies for students. All right, so we have a follow-up letter
Yes.
with the update.
It's in the board packet. The draft is in the board packet. I move that we send this letter to all donors to Maui Preparatory Academy on behalf of the Hawaii State LGBTQ Plus Commission.
All right, do I have a second? Second. Thank you for your second. All right, any discussion? No? All right, perfect. Do we have any public testimony regarding this letter? No, no public testimony. All right, well, let's have our vote. All of those who are abstaining, anyone? Anyone voting no or nay? All right, this passes with every commissioner who is present today. All right, good job, guys. All right, next is update on responses from February 2026 survey, Rainbow Pauhana, Queer Community Leaders Gathering.
Okay, they're in the packet, positive responses. The major takeaway I got was that people want further notice as much as possible so they can, and that's what I got even offline from people that didn't respond to the survey, is that we are asking leaders to come together. And so we should give them as much time and as much time before we have these pauhanas. And so that's my only takeaway. I hope everybody had a chance to review those that we got in this last response.
Yeah, if you haven't had a chance to read it, definitely take a look. There's some good information from our community in that. All right, so we still have on our docket the vote for budget for neighbor island travel for Rainbow Pauhana. Now, for those who were not here last time, this vote was regarding sending someone from another island to a different island if there isn't a commissioner available to go to that Pauhana, so that we have that commission presence, even though we're not running it. So we didn't have enough commissioners last time to vote on this, so we didn't send anyone for that. So, who wants to talk about the budget? Do you want to talk about it, Shandace, that she put it together?
I can. Although it is my intention to step down from the lead in this, so we may end up having somebody else do this, but With the Rainbow Pauhana, the idea was that we have somebody from the commission there each time, and we're wanting to include other islands and not only Oahu. If it so happens that the Rainbow Pauhana is on an island that the commissioner cannot attend, then we should send somebody, and the budget is gonna vary between, I don't know, $300 for a flight or up to maybe 1,000 if you can't get home in time. It being in Pauhana, they finish up 8 to 9, so some of the islands getting home after that is challenging. So I thought to be conservative, budgeting 1,000 would be appropriate, including ground transportation, with obviously the plan of minimizing costs as much as possible. If somebody's able to drive, then we don't need to pay for ground transportation. If somebody's able to stay with a friend, then we don't need to pay for a hotel. But if that is not an option, we should still be able to be present for this gathering that is important. And I have heard from some folks that it's kind of ridiculous that we show up at Pride events, wave in the parade, but we wouldn't show up at a gathering like this, which I think that's, yeah.
And to clarify, this would also include sending someone to Molokai and Lanai if we end up having a Pauhana there, since we don't have commissioners from those. So obviously Joe would be our first point, since he's Maui County, to send him to one of those. And then from there, Joe can't go. So that's what this is about. So would you like to make a motion to vote on that?
I would like not to.
You would not like to. Okay, so do we have anyone who would like to make a motion on that? If not, we will move on to something else. All right, perfect. Next, we have vote on guidelines for hosting Rainbow Pauhana. That was in the board packet as well. I believe you worked on this, Shannon. Is that, nope, who was that worked on?
That was me.
That was you. Okay, Michael, go right ahead.
Okay. Since there's been some discrepancies and discussions about making sure and putting things in writing on what we're doing when it comes to the Pauhanas, and making sure everybody was on the same wavelength, I guess is the right word. Figured setting up what the commission's responsibilities are, what the host responsibilities are when it comes to hosting a Pauhana, especially as we head into this the second quarter. So looking towards June at this point, late May or June for hosting the second Pauhana of 2026. So what you see there is what one of the things, it's just a list of duties that after talking with other hosts, what they thought. Making sure that everybody was on the same page when it comes to this, and that we have, and I know I put in there, provide that the commission could reimburse if a budget is created for the light poo-poos, because it should not be. If somebody is able to meet the other criteria, they don't have it in their budget to pay for light refreshments, then it shouldn't be a barrier to them hosting the Pauhana. And luckily, all of our last hosts have been able to, and have paid for the light refreshments out of their own budgets. But we know money's gonna be tight, especially going into 26, 27 for queer nonprofits. If it's something that we're asking them that we should be able to think about doing. I don't have a budget for this time, but we can maybe, depending on if we find a host for late May, early June, or somewhere in June, that we would be able to maybe reimburse them if need be. I didn't want that to be a barrier for somebody.
Okay. You want to make a motion?
Sure. I move that we pass the guidelines as presented.
All right, now a second.
I have a question, and I don't know if this is the right time. I need some.
Ask and see.
Am I up? Am I talking? Okay.
Yes,
I realize I missed the last two meetings, and so some of I don't have some of the data, and I did talk to Shanda about, okay, if there's a Pauhana here in Kauai, and I live here, so the expectation would be that I would host it. I've never been to one, so Pauhana to me means like a cocktail party. I'm not like I'm a little uncomfortable with the idea that we'll find a date and then I'm in charge of something that I don't know what it is
Okay.
without any, I want to, there's one other part. And secondly, I am absolutely thrilled that we're including neighbor islands, that everything isn't, Oahu centric, but we don't have any community organizations. I mean, we have the YWCA, and which under the auspices of that is where our Pride Committee is, but we don't have community centers or. So I'm like, who's coming? What is happening? I mean, it just sounds like we're throwing a party, which I'm really good at that, but I don't understand. I don't understand. Like I need
Okay.
someone to come over and do it so I can, or I get to fly over and see one. So I'm like, oh, this is what we're trying to do. Cause I'm going to be in charge of something that I don't know what it is.
Okay, first of all, you would not be hosting because as a commissioner, you cannot do that.
I
You
can't.
would be, you cannot host as a commissioner.
Okay.
So you would not be hosting anything.
Okay.
You would be attending and representing the commission and speaking as the commission to let
Okay.
people know you're accessible, that what we're doing, this is what we're doing, this is how we're doing it, just who we are. So as a commissioner, that's the only thing you would do.
Okay.
What would happen is we would have an ex officio who is going to be the person who would be reaching out to different organizations on different islands, and the person on the commission who's designated to help that person would help them as well. And so they would contact an organization, they would organize, and basically what it is it's a meet and greet. It's a time for LGBTQ people in the community, if they're part of an agency, or maybe they want to create an agency, or they want to connect with agencies. But basically what it is it's a hub for LGBTQ plus communities off of Oahu to be, or we do it here too, but regarding neighbor islands, for them to be able to meet up, know who each other are, create those connections, network, and create a stronger foundation so that the next Pauhana, you're like, oh, we know who wants to come, and there's more people who want to come. So there's no hosting on your part that would actually be illegal, so you cannot do that. So that's what that is. Does that make more sense?
Yeah, I can go have a cocktail at a party. Yes. Yes. I'm skilled.
No cocktails.
Yeah,
No
it's
cocktails.
literally
No
just people
cocktails.
sitting around tables introducing each
Okay.
other.
I
You know what I mean? So as a
And it's not even a party. I just want to throw that out there. It's not a
Okay.
party.
Okay. I just don't. I did. Yes. Well, so in that there's no ex officio that lives here. So if it is scheduled here, somebody is going to come over. Is that right?
Well, that's what we're talking about now.
Okay.
We didn't get a motion for that one, so that one's off the table. So it would have to be you, period, if you're on Hawaii. And so what would happen is the person who is organizing from the ex officio on the commission would be working with someone on, so for example, I'll just use this as an example. If we're working with Maui AIDS Foundation would be the person that we would contact and be like, hey, would y'all like to host something on Maui for the LGBTQ plus community so that agencies can get together, so that the community can get together and meet these agencies so that we can begin a network. And so that person is going to be networking, or that person is going to be contacting Maui AIDS Foundation, but Maui AIDS Foundation is the one who sends out the invites, they get the space, they organize what's going to happen at the event, who's going to speak, all of that. As a commissioner, Joe from Maui would go to something like that and he would speak on the commission's behalf, but he would not be a part of putting it on. All right, and the ex officio does not need to live on Kauai or Maui or any of the other islands. That ex officio is simply a point of contact.
There's no need for the ex officio. One of us can do.
Oh, we can organize it.
We're not
good.
we're helping coordinate it.
Right.
We're not running the meeting. When it goes there, the host is in charge. They pick the theme, they pick the date, the time. They're the ones hosting it. We are just providing assistance. And that's,
Exactly.
and that is why within these parameters, that's why I gave you. And Philip, I put into the chat, that's the purpose of the Rainbow Pauhana, which is the queer community leader gathering. So this is, we decided to call it that just to give, because if you say a meeting, nobody wants to go to a meeting. People want to go to a Pauhana at least. And I really hope that at the next one we do have, that every commissioner does show up, because you can, this isn't us hosting this isn't a meeting for us, we don't have the sun shining. This is something for you to be able to hear from your fellow community leaders, who we are all here supposed to be representing and helping to move whatever issues they have forward. That was one of the reasons for, and the impetus for starting this is that so many people were concerned about what's going on at the federal level. They don't think anybody, some people didn't think anybody was doing anything. And that's quite offensive to those of us who've been doing it day in and day out for eons. But to making sure we don't double book, and what came out of this was the using Legacy Foundation's calendar as a community calendar, so we all know where to go to when we're starting to book our events. So yeah, so that is the purpose behind the Pauhana. The reason we're doing these things is being the bridge, not just between state government and our community, but between each other. Because it's very clear that these conversations are not happening. And Philip, for you to say there are so many different queer organizations that show up at Pride, there at Kauai, that you should be able to reach out to encourage them to come to these things. That's what we're talking about. They may not have a building, but they're a nonprofit, or they're just a group of queer people that got together to do something. Those are the kinds of things that we're trying to make sure that we are stronger together than we ever would be apart. And so that's the reason for these things, having these outreach and giving you commissioners a chance to reach out to your other queer organizations, if you choose to host one. So I see,
Kathleen, yes.
Thanks. So, to Philip's point about a limited amount of organizations, perhaps, are these going to be hybrid? Will folks from other islands be able to join via Zoom?
Yeah, all of them have been hybrid so far. So there's always a screen up. People are able to comment and interact, things like that.
And that's the reason the policy was brought forward, that hopefully somebody will make a second on to put these things into place, so we all can participate no matter what island they are, and that it encourages people to the different leaders to sign in and hear from everybody else. So I'm going to make the motion again, is to pass the policy as presented, to give guidance to the Rainbow Pauhanas moving forward.
Sorry, I want to add one more thing before so I appreciate all the clarification that does help me understand a little bit better. Shanda and I did try to set up a Pauhana here, and I think there was confusion as far as, at least on my part, that I was going to host it or Shanda was going to host it. So the subtlety that the place that I found, there's a fairly new coffee shop here that does a lot of events for all kinds of organizations. They really thought they were just providing us, yes, we have a space and you can use our space and we won't charge you for the space. I don't think it came across that they were the hosts of this event. It came across that Shanda and or I were hosting an event, and they were just opening the door and allowing people to sit at the table. So I appreciate the clarification. I'm not sure that that's how it came across here. And so moving forward, I think it's important that it get communicated that way. We're looking for somebody to host an event.
Right. And the host isn't necessarily going to be the place providing the location, right? So it may be an LGBT agency or a nonprofit that's doing the hosting, but that cafe is allowing y'all to use the space. So there's it builds cooperation in the community is what this is meant to do.
And I believe that policy clears up these questions for Philip, and it gives direction and it shows who's doing what and and the role of the commission in this is that we are providing support, not directing, not hosting, not directing the meetings. So,
Thanks.
yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so do your motion again.
Okay. I move that we pass what did I call
Guidelines.
them? Guidelines.
Yeah.
The proposed guidelines for the Rainbow Pauhana Queer Leaders Gathering.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Shanda. Do we have discussion? Even though we just had a lot of discussion. Is there any more discussion?
I think, Melissa had something.
Melissa, where are you?
I
do. I just wanted to give my public testimony and support, especially in Shanda's bringing up, maybe earmarking money to send some of you guys over to other islands. I think that it's very important to provide visibility and support and connection to other places. I think that you guys have done a wonderful job in Oahu, and you're to be commended for all of that. I think it's amazing and beautiful, and word is spreading. But we have a lot of work to do, and I think that there are other places. And specifically, I would love to see something on Hilo's side of Big Island, and would be wanting to get involved on that front. So that's all. Thank you.
Melissa. Yeah, Melissa makes an excellent point, because we don't want to ignore our neighbor islands, right? Because they're just as important as any other island, as our island. And so thank you, Melissa, for that. All right, so that's our public testimony. All right.
One more time.
Oh, any other public testimony? It's right ahead, so.
Sure.
Nope. All right, no public testimony outside of Melissa's. Okay, let's vote. Anyone abstaining? Anyone who wants to vote no? All right, passes unanimously. Now, this is also a good time to let you know that Cameron Miyamoto is walking away from coordinating these, as well as Shanda. So by next month, what I would like is for us to have someone available to put forward their name to be the person who is the contact that can help us set up these meetings every quarter. So keep in mind, it's every quarter. It's once every 3 months, so it's not a huge thing. But keep that in mind, that we will need someone to oversee this for the commission. All right, good job, guys. I don't know, in light of what Melissa, I'm still stuck on the budget for the outer islands based on what Melissa said. Do we want to visit that again and talk about it, or do we want to completely nix that and just not even vote on it again? Commissioners, discuss.
I think one of the hard things is just the flight schedules and everything. If you're going for an evening meeting, that a lot of times that then involves the whole hotel stayover thing, and that increases it. The evening things are really tough. Like some of the prides, we can fly in and out on the same day, so it's not that much of a cost to the commission. But the overnight thing, and especially the outer islands, the hotels are so expensive.
Yeah. That is the big thing, is it ends up being like a trip, not just a flight over for a day, but you're absolutely right. Anyone else? I want to make sure we talk about this before we completely leave it behind.
Melissa has.
Melissa, public testimony on this?
Thank you. I don't know where you went on my screen. Oahu has something that is very established in how their pauhanas are, but maybe the outer islands look differently. Maybe it's an afternoon, maybe it's a Saturday at 11 a.m. or something. The flexibility to make it look like what it needs to look like for that specific island is thinking outside of the box. So it might not look like what is happening for the pauhanas that are happening in Honolulu, but maybe in Hilo it has a different look, a different day and time, and that's okay, because the flexibility of the needs of that community will be different also. But it is such a great opportunity to connect providers and people that are a part of this community. So.
Oh, that's a really good point, Melissa. I didn't think about the fact that we can just do a different schedule based on that. So having it on Saturdays, making it easy to come in and out for whoever's coming in. That's a very good point. All right, any other discussion? Yes, Joe.
I just want to add to Melissa about bringing up Hilo, that the new person who was just on a few minutes ago was going to be joining us next week for his first stay with us here on the meetings. He's from Hilo, so he'll be a new addition. We'll hopefully jump in and see what he can do representing Hilo.
Okay.
Christopher, that's his name.
All right, all right. Okay, so something to think about. Moving on. Next is update on addressing the needs of our community's Kupuna, especially Mahu, trans, non-binary, and intersex.
Thank you. So we had a lively discussion this month, met with Kokuamau, and they are very interested in working with us for us being the larger We're Kupuna committee, part of the sexual and gender minority board group, in publicizing documents and possibly making some training to ensure people's access to a quality of life at the end of life. So by this, I mean, sometimes most of us are aware that sometimes what happens for LGBT folks at the end of life is family might come in and not respect our wishes and kick out our partner and take over care unless we have an advance directive, and everyone should get an advance directive. Please get an advance directive to protect yourself from this. In addition to that, trans folks have an additional concern that they might be ungendered at that time if they don't have something in place to protect that. And so there is a document that we're working on to try to help people have something that they can take with them at that time in life, especially if they're not able to speak for themselves in long-term care facilities or foster homes or care homes or whatever, that will say, look, this is my gender, this is my name, this is how I prefer to be. The document that we're currently using is my personal directions form. It was created by the ombudsman with SAGE, which is a national LGBTQ organization. It's super awesome in general. And on the first page, it says my pronouns are, my preferred name is, and then it has all kinds of things about what's important to me and care. So Kokuamau is going to work with us and talk to different organizations because they do advanced directives. Talk to different organizations about how can we make this Hawaii specific? How can we make it look like something people here want to use, and how can we get the word out? Rick and me and the SGM work group have been focusing on care homes, and they were pointing out we are going uphill with that because care homes are little tiny homes, often owned by one person. And so we're doing heavy lifting. And they recommended, hey, why don't we start with an easier, softer way of the long-term care facilities where we can get more involvement and build community engagement faster with this. We get the word out so people can not only know they need an advance directive to protect themselves from their family or random people, but also this, which can protect their gender identity. I'm not saying that well, but to protect them from being misgendered, ungendered when they're not able to speak for themselves. So it was not a very efficient way of saying we have momentum and we have some community organizations that are going to work with us on this, and they have the capacity to make video. So they're going to work on this, and I believe that once we get that all set up on their website, we can put it on our website so we can have some training available to anybody who wants to move forward. Thank you.
All right, do we have any public testimony on the update for communities, Kupuna, especially Mahu, trans, non-binary, intersex? No, all right, excellent. Next, we have review of the 2026 legislative priorities via the 2026 legislative tracker. And I'm sure y'all have been on this website. It's got all of our bills that we're looking at. All right, first is vote to support the appointment of Chrissy Doyle And if y'all do not know who that is, she is one of our new potential commissioners. To the Hawaii State LGBTQ Commissioner, Governor Josh Green sent GM 732 to the Senate, appointing Chrissy to a position representing the city and county of Honolulu for a term to expire 6/30/2030. All right, so let's have a motion.
Make a motion that we do both of them together. These are gonna be confirmations of actions already taken, as Chrissy was heard on Friday and Sylvia was heard today.
Perfect. All right, so next is vote to support the appointment of
What?
Sylvia Rom
Yeah,
to the Hawaii State LGBTQ Commissioner. Governor Josh Green sent GM 733 to the Senate, appointing Sylvia to a position representing the city and county of Honolulu for a term to expire 6/30/2030. So we're gonna combine these. Can I have a motion for both of these?
so moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, do we have any discussion? Do we have any public testimony on their appointment?
Sylvia, do you wanna say anything?
Oh, were you there? Hi.
Okay, can somebody do me a favor, ask her to, one of the co-hosts, ask her to unmute? Cause I am currently locked up. Yeah, I'm working on that right now, Sylvia. So one of the co-hosts, one of you commissioners, go ahead and ask her to unmute if you put your pointer over her
Just
picture.
did.
All right,
Sylvia, can you,
Great.
oh, there you go.
Hi, Sylvia.
perfect. Hi, sorry, it was not letting me unmute there for a few minutes. So nice to meet you all. I've met some of you before, both virtually and in person, but happy to meet you all here. And I look forward to working with you.
All right, awesome. That was discussion. Do we have any public testimony on the appointment of these two commissioners?
Approving the motion that we've already done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have any public testimony?
We heard from Chrissy last month.
Yes. All right, perfect. Let's have a vote. Do we have any abstentions? Any nays? All right, passes unanimously with the commissioners who are present. Good job. Looking forward to working with y'all. All right, next is vote on commission's position on SCR 167.
This can be tabled, this,
We're gonna table it.
it died.
Oh, it starts at one, yeah. Okay. All right, next is vote to approve legislative survey for the end of 2026 legislative session following 2025 roadmap. And I'm sure y'all took a look at the executive summary. Hopefully you did. That was in the board packet. All right, do I have a motion?
I move that we do a legislative, legislative survey for 2026 like we did in 2025.
All right, do I have a second? Second. All right, thank you, Shanda. Do we have any discussion?
Are we changing
have-
that at all, or is it going to be the same as last year?
Oh, it's gonna be updated, because things, hopefully by that time we'll have passed the gender affirming care. And we will have done other things that will, allow us to update it, and hopefully this will give us more guidance as we look into heading in 2027, to set our legislative priorities. But yeah, it's gonna get a feel from the community about our priorities that we went into this year with, as well as looking what they want to hear from us in 2027. So it's not just following the same format, but updating the language and seeing what everybody has to say.
All right. Is that a discussion? Yeah, okay. Do we have any public testimony on the vote to approve legislative survey for the end of 2026 legislative session following the 2025 roadmap? Nope. All right. Do we have, let's move on to the vote. Do we have any abstentions? Do we have any nays? All right, this passes unanimously with commissioners who are present. Do we have any public testimony overall for the review of the 2026 legislative priorities via the 2026 legislative tracker? Nope. All right, great. Moving on to the next.
Well, the only thing I want to bring up on this is tomorrow's third reading in the Senate as well as the House. HB 1875, which is the gender affirming care shield law, will have its third reading. It came out of the Senate with a clean effective date, which is huge. It came out of its first committee with a clean effective date, and there were a couple of amendments made by the judiciary that were supported by the advocates, and this has been a lot of work, and I do want to go on record and say, and thank you to Abby Simmons, who is currently the chair of the Stonewall Caucus of the Democratic Party of Hawaii, for all of her advocacy and extra work and time and energy, putting together the coalition, putting together all the different resources to ensure people, because in the last hearing, there were only 8 pieces of testimony against it, and 100 plus, 180 for it, something like that. So, she did that. No one does it alone, but she did a hell of a lot of the work on that. And I do think I would just want to commend her and thank her for everything she's done there.
Is that?
Abby's not.
Okay. All right, moving on to update from Hawaii Coalition for Civil Rights, and Rick is not here, so we're gonna move on to update on statement condemning medical organizations abandoning Mahu transgender, gender nonconforming, Cutie Pie Plus community and or meetings with medical organizations in Hawaii.
I met again with the Hawaii Association of Professional Nurses, or for professional nursing, and that they continue to be supportive of the Gender Affirming Care Shield Act and kind of partnering with them. That's about all I have to say. Nobody else has responded to the emails and letters.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any public testimony on the update on statement condemning medical organizations abandoning Mahu transgender, gender nonconforming, Cutie Pie Plus community and or meetings with medical organizations in Hawaii? Nope. All right, great. Next is update on ad campaign regarding Hawaii's non-discrimination laws.
Well, here they are.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
They've been printed. As we stand now, they are going to be, we're going to be issuing a joint press release between us, the Commission on Status of Women, and the Hawaii Civil Rights Commission. They will go up May 1st. We are in the process of producing the digital campaigns. As everybody will remember, this is going to be a multifaceted ad campaign these will appear on Oahu and Hawaii County. I do want to thank Representative Janae Capella, who has agreed to hand carry the 55 signs over to Hawaii County to have those put on the buses there. We did have enough bus signs to have them also for Maui and Hawaii County as soon as they get back to us. As you saw, those will be up in the buses. We will be also doing some other things to get press around that, as well as there will be the ad campaign, the digital campaigns, that there will be at least 5, if not more, different digital ads that are going to go up around using our social media platforms to get the word out there. They're actually going to be less than $1,500 for us and $1,500 for the Commission on the Status of Women. And we do want to thank Rainbow Family 808 for stepping up as our nonprofit sponsor, who took, almost $2,500 off the price tag of doing this. There you go. That's where we're at.
That's fantastic. Thank you. All right. Do we have any public testimony on the update on ad campaigns regarding Hawaii's non-discrimination laws? No. All right. Next is update on City and County of Honolulu. Proposed charter amendment to create a CNC Honolulu LGBTQI plus commission.
It's still, the proposal is still moving forward. The proposal was added to PIG 1, I believe. Yeah, it's PIG 1, and the permitted interaction group of the commission, of the charter commission. They are meeting, the PIG is meeting sometime this week, and they will be going through a full vote of what things that they were looking at to move forward by the end of this month. once we see that agenda come out, we are gonna be, we will be asking people to submit testimony again, especially those that did not submit testimony in advance or before, and to encourage the commission to keep it, as one of their priorities. As it stands now, this has the second highest amount of testimony out of all the other proposals. And for those of you that don't remember, these proposals started off with almost 300 proposals, and we're still in the mix. So thank you to everybody who's been supportive. I will keep you updated as other things come up, and then when it comes to that.
Excellent. All right, do we have any public testimony update on City and County of Honolulu proposed charter amendment to create a CNC Honolulu LGBTQI plus commission? All right, moving to the next item. Update on developing written protocols, procedures, and record keeping for the commission.
Have not made any progress this month, and I will hopefully have more progress next month.
Excellent. All right, do we have any public testimony on the update on developing written protocols, procedures, and record keeping for the commission? Nope. All right. Next is update on Kids Hurt 2 Hawaii State Grant and Aid application to fund the 24/7 Youth and Family Crisis and Referral Line. Yeah. All right. So Rick's not here, so we're going to be moving on to the next item. Update from the statewide No Dictators protest held on Saturday, March 28th, 2026.
You saw the numbers in the board packet. Had it not been for the bomb scare at the Capitol, I think we would have gotten closer to 15 to 18,000 people there. On behalf of the commission, I do want to thank all the organizers for all the different ones across the state. They gave everybody the opportunity. And as we all showed on that day, we were able to chew gum and walk at the same time, because we were able to come and protest and then go out and help our Ohana on the North Shore. And although Waianae still needs some help when it comes to recovery, and North Shore is still looking, especially with the last Honolulu 3. That the organizers did recognize that, and they did put together their directory for those that participated at the Capitol. They also included a list of organizations that people can donate to or volunteer through to help their friends and family up there. And just to keep in mind, I mean, we're heading into hurricane season. This is not even hurricane season ever got. And so, but the protests were all peaceful, nonviolent. From what I saw.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of people there still. I was surprised how many people showed up, even though there was the bomb scare. All right. Do we have any public testimony on the update from the statewide No Dictators protest held on Saturday, March 28th, 2026? Nope. All right. Next item is 2026 Pride events. All right, first is update on a request to Governor Green to fly pride flags to the Capitol and to use a proclamation declaring June Pride Month for the state of Hawaii.
Update, we are definitely getting the proclamation. I have that confirmation from the governor's office. So month of June will be Pride Month again in the state of Hawaii. Be on the lookout for that. I have heard through the grapevine that they've approved the flags, but I have not been able to get confirmation directly from the governor's office. The minute that happens, we will be doing what we did like last time, and that is going to be asking the different organizations if they want to co-sponsor at no cost to them, thanks to our good friends over at Lake Hawai, who bought the flags last time. And they are still good use, so we'll be able to fly those again, and we'll be asking everybody, all of our queer organizations, as well as our allied organizations, to sign on to support that. So we should hopefully have and then we've also requested, in that same request, we asked to have a flag raising ceremony like we did in 2025. And I have not yet taken confirmation on that from the governor's office. But for this year, June 1st falls on a Monday.
Which brings us to our next point. Discussion on moving the June commission meeting to June 1st, 2026, the very first day of hopefully what will be declared Pride Month in Hawaii. Would you like to discuss? Start the discussion, Michael?
The idea of this is if people people want to fly over for if Philip, Joe, or at this point Christopher want to fly over for the flag raising ceremony, that it's not just for that 15-20 minute ceremony, that we would also have our meeting in that afternoon. So that was at least having that discussion here. So to see what people thought.
All right, commissioners, what do you think?
Yeah,
So,
go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, I'd like to see it happen that we'd be able to go and fly over again for that.
Yeah, I love that. I want to see everybody, have everybody in the same room for the meeting. I love that.
Isn't though the same day that the Big Island's having their event? Or am I getting it mixed up now?
Good question.
I know Rocco's not with us anymore, so I can't ask him.
What event are you talking about?
The huge Big Island Kona event that Rocco Vic always thrown. What isn't that the same day with the?
Oh no, Kona Pride's in September.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why I was thinking June.
So it's like a whole different month.
Okay, thank you for that clarification.
Yeah.
But Hawaii Island Pride is June 28th.
June 28th,
Yeah. So there's one in June, but not June 1st.
yeah.
So we should be good.
All right, discussion. So commissioners, can we make it for the June 1st meeting at 2 p.m. instead of having it the following week?
If this room's available.
If this room's available, which we'll find out as soon as the meeting's over.
Well, I mean that with the idea that we'd only move it if we're getting the flag raising ceremony.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll keep it on a regular date.
All right, so we'll keep you all posted about the June 1st. Plan for both dates at this point, just so that you have both of those open. We'll find out after the meeting if the room's available, and then we'll keep you posted on the raising of the flags with the governor. All right. Next, oh, sorry.
Can we just pick and decide to do it June 1st either way?
Well, we have to see if the rooms available.
Oh,
Otherwise, absolutely, yes. But that's why I'll send you an email once I know whether the room's available or not, so that we have that. Okay, all right, and we can just go ahead and do it, even though we're not doing the flag raising, we can still just meet on the first day. So I'll keep you all updated. All right, next is Pride schedules for the state of Hawaii. We got Hawaii Pride, which is June 6th. Looking forward to that, Philip. Maui Pride is June 13th. Looking forward to that one, Joe. Honolulu Pride is October 17th. Hawaii Island Pride is June 28th.
June 27th.
It's the 27th. Okay, all right, so you can change that date to June 27th, and Kona Pride is September 19th. So put those in your calendars. Those who are traveling, we're looking forward to representing the commission to those, and thank you for that. All right, we have commission representation at Hawaii Pride, Maui Pride, and Hawaii Island Pride at this point. All right, next we have.
Just a reminder that your names have already been submitted, so if you do not plan, if you let us know, or if you let Sandy know that you wanted to travel for one of those, please let us know ASAP if you plan on not doing so. And if you plan on doing so, please, we're gonna try to get everybody at the same arrival times for Kauai Pride and Maui Pride. And Hawaii Island Pride, all three of those. Cause we, to keep our budget down, that we only do one rent a car.
Yeah. All right, next is vote for sponsorship levels for Kauai, June 6th, and Maui, June 13th. All right, so what are our options?
I'm gonna make a motion that we do $1,000 each for Kauai Pride and Maui Pride,
All right.
since we have the money. And we definitely need to be doing more outreach in those two
Yeah,
times.
All right, so we have a motion to send $1,000 to Kauai and send $1,000 to Maui. Do I have a second?
Is there a reason we're not doing the same thing?
I'll get to that. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So 1,000 to Kauai, 1,000 to Maui. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. Do we have any discussion? Do we have any public testimony on sending $1,000 to Kauai and $1,000 to Maui for Pride sponsorships? All right, let's have a vote. Do we have any abstentions? Do we have any nays? All right, this passes unanimously with commissioners who are present. All right.
And
Do you want to talk about?
yeah, for Hilo, we didn't find out who their fiscal sponsor was until recently. They do not actually have sponsorship levels. So using the sponsorship levels that Hawaii and Maui already have in place, it just made sense just to double it to that, just 1,000. So given the fact how much money, the money we do have, and that was and so we finally found Hawaii Island. We're in contact with Hawaii Island Pride as well as their fiscal sponsors, which is Quality High, who was their fiscal sponsor last year. We have already set the $500 aside for that, so we just figured we'd leave it at that. And hopefully Hawaii Island Pride will be able to be a little bit more on the ball, because this has been a pulling teeth to get invoices for everybody, because that they had to be included in the memos. That's the reason we kept it. And also we're spending $500. Does that mean we can spend 1,000 at Kona as well? And Kona probably does not have $1,000 level. The next level is $1,500. And to your point earlier about why we're spending so much money at Pride is because it's our most visible place from having a meeting. Besides having to be, we're supposed to be bridging between our community. That Pride is that bridge. So that is the reason we spend the money on Pride, to make sure people, it's our easiest way taking the mountain to Mahamalism, instead of creating something else for them to come to. So that's the reason, at least my reason, that I think that we spend the money on Pride, making sure that people know who we are. And that this is also an opportunity that when we're all there, is that we're not just working the booth, is that we're going around the different other organizations and reaching out with the commissioner for that island
All right, next is vote to approve funding for swag for Pride and tabling events. Michael.
Given that the fact that we had the $6,000, we're not using that money for that, and one of the things that people have talked about is having flags or something bigger to hand out. So what's on the table is for us to spend $2,500 for swag, as well as to do duplicates of our tabled cloth and signs. So we have multiple sets, because as you'll see later in the agenda, we may be needing them this year. And so we can have 2 sets going at the same time. So the motion is to spend $2,500 for swag, which includes tablecloth, tent, the table signs and banners.
All right, do we have a second?
I do.
Joe, do we have any discussion? Do we have any public testimony on vote to approve funding for swag and Pride and tabling events? No, all right, let's have our vote. Do we have any abstentions? Do we have any nays? All right, this passes unanimously with commissioners who are present.
Can somebody do?
All right, do we have any public testimony regarding any of this information from the 2026 Pride events? All right, great. Next, we're going to update on commission position opposing the Boy Scouts of America Aloha Council's grant and aid application to the Hawaii State Legislature.
I have made our opposition known to those in charge of the GIAs, and hopefully, given everything else that's going on in the world, that everybody else that actually needs funding now after the Kona lows in all the counties, that they will not fund a bigoted organization that has decided to stab our trans community yet again.
So, all right, thank you for that. All right, do we have any Public testimony update on commission positioning, position opposing the Boy Scouts of America Aloha Council's grant and aid application to the Hawaii State Legislature. Nope, all right, great. Moving on to new business. First is discussion on supporting 2026 Gender Journey Days. Go right ahead, Shannon.
Aloha, Gender Journeys Day, and you'll see this at the end of the board packet, is a 1-day event that is educational in nature. It was born out of a need local providers and community members identified. And it is to improve the capacity of healthcare providers and mental health professionals to provide gender-affirming care for our youth. And it is also a place for gender expansive, transgender youth and their families to come and be part of this event and get information and support. It's a great supportive environment for youth. Last year, we at the commission supported Gender Journeys Day to the tune of $1,000. And this year, I would like us to support, I'm gonna make a motion on we support again. This year, beginning this year, the Hawaii Health and Harm Reduction Center is the community partner. Previously, it had been Stanford Children's Hospital kind of supporting us as we got our feet underneath us. And Hawaii Health and Harm Reduction Center is the nonprofit that is gonna be administering funds, I guess, is how that goes. For information, last year there were 106 participants. This is going to be the third year. This should be a self-sustained, and we're going to try and make it happen. Participants came from five islands: Hawaii, Maui, Molokai, and Oahu. So it is not just for Oahu, and there's sponsorships available if you know anybody that wants to come. At the sponsorship level of $1,000, we get logo placement and announcements and whatnot, and the three of us could go for free. Anybody who wants Sammy continuing education. There's a sponsorship level from 1 to 2, and of course there's more. I think that we should do 2. I would like to propose that we increase to 2,000 this year because we have the money. But that I'm open to someone else saying that we should do 1,000. And to put it in context, what does this look like? By sponsoring at the $1,500 level, we would be paying for breakfast. By sponsoring at 1,000, we would more than cover the cost of lay for speakers and honored guests. So there's all these little sponsorship levels that are helpful. And I make a motion that we sponsor at the $2,000 level.
All right, do I have a second? No one, oh, thank you, Kat. All right, do we have a discussion?
Do we have the money for everything we just spent
Yes.
to do the 2,000?
Yes.
Okay. Didn't we do 500 last time? We did 500 in 2025.
And then last year.
Let me get 500. As long as we have the money, I'm fine with it.
Because we had,
With everything we just spent, all the other
so
motions.
that's 3,500 that we just spent. So yeah, we definitely have it, especially with the extra 800 that was. I do believe.
Okay. All right, do we have any public testimony?
Oh, who made the motion? Okay, you're gonna have to, you've got to pull that motion back since you said on the exec board of that. It's conflict of interest for you to make.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right, so we need for someone to, I forgot you were on the executive board for that. So we need someone to make a motion for us to sponsor Gender Journey Days for $2,000 this year. Do I have anyone who would like to make that motion?
So moved.
Michael's making the motion. Do we have a second?
Philip second.
Second, thank you, Philip. Discussion?
Okay. Can somebody unmute Sylvia, please? There you go.
Thank you. I think I'm still participating as public testimony at this point, but I'm also on the executive committee, and I just want to reiterate how special this day is. It's truly unique. We don't have any other resources. So as a pediatrician, also I have Keiki in schools here who are gender expansive, and it's not just about the people who are attending the day. The educators are bringing this back to their classrooms, to their schools. The clinicians are bringing it back to their clinics. So this is really a wide-ranging impact on the community all across the islands.
Oh, thank you very much. All right, do we have any other public testimony?
I have a question. If I abstain, do we have quorum?
We should. Okay. Everybody's here except Rick.
Yeah, we have quorum.
Yeah.
We still have 5.
Okay, good. All right, so let's go to our vote. We have one abstention, which is Shanda, because she's on the board.
Wait, before we go to vote, I have one question. What is this? How is this different gender journey days than comparative to the one-day conference?
This is more targeted and more expansive. So it is specifically for youth, and therefore more targeted, but also more expansive. So it's also for educators and healthcare providers. So the other one is more mental health providers, and this is also for family members. So it's very similar, but different.
All right, do we have any no's? Or do we have any other abstentions other than Shanda, first of all? No, all right, do we have any nays? All right, this passes with 5 commissioners voting.
We need an invoice by tomorrow.
Yes.
All right, we'll have that in, you'll have that in by tomorrow, okay?
Just so everybody understands, that memo's being held for us because of this meeting now, that we need all invoices.
All right, next is discussion on, discussion tabling and supporting the 2026 Honolulu AIDS Walk. All right.
Since we have the funds, I'm proposing that we do a $500, which is the bronze level for the AIDS Walk, which it takes place on the same day as Hilo Pride on June 27th. With the understanding that by sponsoring this, we're not just helping Hawaii H3RC here on Oahu, but they also have now opened a clinic on Kauai, and they are helping, and they do provide support to the rest of the island. So it's not just a Honolulu specific one. By doing that, it does give us another opportunity to outreach to the community, especially given the attacks that we've seen. If anybody who looked at the Orange Menace's budget, he is gutting everything that will do anything good for those living with HIV and AIDS.
Yeah, he's specifically targeting like Maui AIDS Foundation and Gregory House, things like that, so. Whew, it's a nasty one. All right, do we have a motion?
I move that we expend $500 for a sponsorship for the bronze sponsorship for Honolulu AIDS Walk 2026.
All right, do we have a second?
Yes.
Is that you, Joe?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, do we have any discussion? Do we have any public testimony regarding a vote on tabling and supporting the 2026 Honolulu AIDS Walk? All right, let's have our vote. Do we have any abstentions? Do we have any nays? All right, that passes unanimously with all the commissioners who are present. I'm sorry, Signe, I see is that a hand up?
No.
No, that's okay.
That's the icon.
I was like, that looks weird. Okay, thank you.
Oh,
All
sorry,
right.
Chair. Didn't Shanda abstain, or she said she wanted to abstain? Just want to check
Shanda
it.
abstained from the sponsor for the Gender Journey Days.
Since she was since she
Oh, I'm
sits
sorry.
on
We're on the AIDS Walk now. Sorry. Forgive me.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, next we have discussion on the required 2026 report to the legislature.
This was put on the agenda just to bring it up to everybody's attention. Yeah, I'm gonna suggest that we pick a date that everybody gets their, to get their, at least their portion of what they want to include. You saw how we did it last time. We do have to do that again. That's part of our statute that's required to submit this to the legislature. And so, with the idea that we are gonna have our June meeting on the 1st, you would be submitting all your pieces to Honey? Annie, sorry. Annie, by a certain date, giving her time to compile it all and put it into a draft. So that we can add it to the board packet, which would then, that would be due to be posted. Let's see. If we go to the 1st, the board packet has to be up on the 27th, so the 25th is a holiday. You would have to have everything, it's my recommendation that everybody who plans on submitting something, if you do not plan on submitting something or don't want to add anything to the board, the thing, please email Annie by May 22nd at noon. But you will not be submitting anything. Anything you do want to submit, make sure it's there by then, and and then it will give her, all the rest of Friday and then all of Tuesday to get it, so we can have it in the board packet on the 27th. That's due up to 2:00, with the idea that we move forward with the June 1st one. And if we don't do the June 1st meeting, you get it done early, yay us.
Right, so mark your calendars. The deadline for this is May 22nd at noon, and you'll be sending it to Annie. And I'll be sending her email to y'all after the meeting.
If you have any questions, to go to our website and you can look at the 2 different reports we've already submitted. For however you want to write your portion.
All right, do we have any public testimony on the discussion on the required 2026 report to the legislature? Nope. All right, great. So we have our future meetings coming up. Our next meeting is May 11th is our next meeting at 2 p.m.
I have confirmed Kiki for the May 11th. She's a new commissioner for the Commission on the Status of Women. She'll be here to talk about the work she does over at SWAP, which is Sex Workers Outreach Project.
Excellent. All right, I guess we have to have public testimony on our future discussion, inviting non-government organizations to present to the commission.
Does anybody else have the other thing?
I do. I had sent an invitation for Google Now and Hawaii suicide prevention.
Oh, that's right. I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I followed up with them, so I believe they're gonna be May and June. Those first following that, so I'll add that to the agenda. All right, any public testimony regarding our commission speakers? All right, now we've got our adjournment. Do we have an motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do we have a second? Thank
Second.
you. Joe, thank you. Do we have any discussion? Good. Do we have any public testimony on whether or not we should adjourn? Good, all right. So let's vote to adjourn. Do we have any abstentions? Somebody wants to stay? None? Okay. Do we have any no's? No, all right. We passed this unanimously. Good job, guys. All right, y'all have a wonderful week. Stay dry. I really hope everybody's safe in all these rains, and we'll see you in May. Bye.
Aye. Ahui ho.
All right.